Hey, this is Ralph, and in this video I want to go over how you can create a 404 error page, custom 404 error page. Let me give you a quick little demo here. So I'm going to head over to a website that you could go to as well to see a lot of what I'm talking about, but it's webdev.cocc-cis.com. So webdev.cocc-cis.com. Now when you go there, I did some stuff to make my life a little bit easier, but hopefully it's not going to confuse you too much. When you go to that page, it's automatically going to redirect you to a subfolder. This really has nothing to do with the official 404 error. I just wanted to create a folder where I could demonstrate this without affecting other folders or things like that. So of course, in your example, you're not going to have this. Instead of having a 404 error folder, you're going to be putting this into your public HTML folder, your main folder. Okay, so I've obviously got a pretend portfolio homepage here with a little navigation menu. And just you can kind of see what's going on up in my address bar here. So if I click on a link to another page, this is another page on my website. I have another page that's in a subfolder of my website. And I also have a broken link. So when I click on this broken link, I'm going to get my 404 error page, and you can see there's my broken link web address. So that's one phase of saying, okay, so a user should get the 404 error page if they click on a bad link in your website, and they can see what that bad web address is. The other way is, it doesn't matter where I'm at, but I can be on my home page and I can just type in gobbledygook.html, and that's going to get to my 404 error page. But I also want you to be able to see this. I could just type in fake folders. I could have whatever / something else. It's probably not a semicolon. / folder / another folder / and just enter. And I'm still going to get the 404 error page. And this is important. You see how my web address up here in my browser, or my address bar in my browser, has all of the mistakes in there. Because if I just made a small mistake, I want to be able to easily fix that. Okay, so what does this really mean to you? You can, of course, view the source code of these pages, and you're going to get some insight. Now, this is the source code of the 404 error page, and it's really just a regular web page. The only thing I want to stress to you is notice the hyper reference to my CSS file. It doesn't matter where you keep your CSS file, but I want you to start that href with a leading slash, because you never know where the error is going to occur. Here's an example. I've got all these bogus folders in here. How do you know that my styles folder is within this series of multiple bogus folders? You don't. So you always need to tell the browser where the CSS file is. And there's really only two ways to do that. One is with an absolute address, literally putting http://www.username.cocc, just putting in a complete path. Or you can do what I did, which is start with a leading slash, which means from the root. Now, of course, in my demo, I created this little 404 error subfolder, but you probably won't have that. You're probably just going to have / styles / and then your normal CSS file. And of course, my error page is being styled in the same way as my home page and some of my other leading pages of my portfolio. You want to have a nice, consistent error page so the users aren't shocked by any change in style. They have access to some navigation for where they can get to what they are trying to find. Okay, so is that really all there is to it? Almost, but not quite. Let me head back over to that source code. So there it is. My 404 error page is simply another web page that's been styled using a relative path via the root to my CSS file. So that's an important thing right there. But probably the most important thing is creating an Htaccess file. So I have FileZilla open, and I guess I can minimize most of this stuff. And I'm going to head over to my public HTML. And then, of course, by the way, there's a little index file in here where I'm doing a quick redirect. Not important. I just did it because I wanted you to automatically go into my 404 error page. I'm going to bring that over, though, to my desktop so you can see that. And then I'm going to go into my 404 error folder. And this, you would consider this like your public HTML. You know, you've got your index page, you've got a bunch of other pages, you've got your styles folder, you've got subfolders and things like that. What you don't have is this little .htaccess file. So that's what you are lacking, and that's what you can use to help redirect. So let me show you how I'm going to make this. In fact, let me go ahead and just delete it. Remember, I'm using this weird keyboard because I'm at home. Yes, I'm going to delete that .htaccess file. And so now that that htaccess file is gone, I'm not going to get the magic of my error page loading up automatically. So if I head back to my browser, I can close that. I can refresh this. And notice now I'm not getting any kind of custom 404 error message. I can go back here. There's that. Let me make sure I refresh so I'm not in cache. My broken link doesn't get me anything cool. And of course, if I type anything up here, I'm not going to get anything cool. So let's create that htaccess file. Let me go ahead and open up. What am I going to open up? I'm going to open up VS Code. There we go. I still have my Honda stuff from the other day. Let me close those out. And I'll just click File, New File. Now when I'm creating an htaccess file, what I like to do is I save it locally. And I'll just save this into my desktop. Where is my desktop? There it is. I'm going to save it locally as simply htaccess.txt. Just a plain text file. And ours is going to be super simple. It's going to have error document. I don't need that. Later. And I spelled the word document wrong. So error document space 404 space. Notice error document has a capital E and a capital D. Error document 404, and now I'm going to have the location of my error page. So I'm going to start with a slash because I'm going from the root. So this is where you would probably have something like this. So your error page, whatever you call it, I call mine error 404.html. I do that because potentially you could have other kinds of error pages. So whatever your page is, you'll be just in the root, which means this file is in your public HTML folder. Now for my demo, I did it a little different. I created a folder called 404 error. So I'm going to do this. 404 error, or let's make sure I'm clear, leading slash 404 error, which is the name of my folder where I'm doing my demo stuff, slash, and then the name of my file. My file is called error 404. Right, and it is a .html, so I think I'm pretty good with that. I'm just going to go ahead and save this, Control-S to save, and I'm just going to close this. I think I'm done. Close that, I think I'm done. And let's see, let me do a refresh on here. So here's my little htaccess txt file, and I'm just going to drag this right into my public HTML folder. Remember, my public HTML folder is my root. Even though I'm using a subfolder right now, you can pretend that I'm using my public HTML. Now once I have this htaccess file in my server and published, then I'm going to rename it. I'm going to rename it to .htaccess. So I'm leading it with a dot, and then I'm typing in htaccess, htaccess. That's a special system file for our Apache server operating system here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click that, and you can see, I can still see the file. Now, depending on the settings on your FileZilla, sometimes htaccess files are hidden from you. So if you don't see your htaccess file after you rename it up there, you might need to look in your settings, and I honestly can't remember where they are. Edit settings, somewhere in here. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Interface, file list maybe. All right, It is in here somewhere. I've seen it before. So anyway, so I can see my .htaccess file. So locally, I'm using htaccess.txt just because it's a simple little text, basic text file. But when I publish it, I rename it to .htaccess. So now I can head back to my browser, refresh, and now my error page is loading up. And notice there's my address. Let me just go to my home page. I'll click on my broken link. There's my error page. I'll click on another page, and I'll just go ahead and type some garbage up here. There it is. I get my error page and garbage. So what's important with this? It's important that you have an htaccess file. And what is that htaccess file supposed to look like? Well, let's find out. Let me just head over here, right click. Now I'll just edit it with Notepad++. There you go. Cancel that. So my htaccess file only has one line in it, error document, space 404 space, and then I have the path location to my error web page. And of course, you're probably not going to have a subfolder there, but you are going to have a leading slash. So that htaccess file is important. What else is important? Well, it's also important that your error page, let me go back to FileZilla real quick, and here's my error page right here. I'm just going to go ahead and I'll drag this local. And I'm going to open it up. I'll edit it with Notepad++. It's also important that this error page refers to your style sheet with a leading slash. Okay? So you want to have that leading slash in the style sheet reference of your actual error page. Okay, so if you want to go and see what I've got, you just head over to webdev.cocc-cis.com, and you can kind of get a feel for what's going on here just by looking at the source code of any of these pages. What you won't see, of course, is the htaccess sample. So this is what you're going to write right here. Have fun with this, but I definitely want to see some 404 error pages, custom 404 error pages on your portfolio sites. Talk to you later.